Guys, welcome back to another video with
Sibling.
I recently got the flu and so I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm going to be a bit more calm for this video. But in today's video I'm going to be talking about some of my craziest customer service experience working as a retail employee. And I don't know, I've had some pretty weird or crazy experiences and I just want to share them with you guys because I follow a couple people who do YouTube shorts of these kind of videos and they're really interesting to me at least. So I thought I would share some of mine with you guys. Before we get started, don't forget to boop that subscribe button in the nose, leave a like, and share the video. And let's just get right into the video. I've been working in retail for about 8 months now, and I've already had so many experiences, too many to remember. Just for example, we had to call the bomb squad to the store and have everyone leave the store at one point. And I looked at my manager and I was like, another normal day at work? And she's like, yep. And we literally didn't even have a second thought about it, even though the bomb squad was in the building removing a real grenade. We were just like, whatever. So I guess I'll start with that one because that one's probably like what the heck. So basically on Sundays I work an early shift. And I work at the jewelry counter and I really enjoy it. It's fun. I get to price the jewelry, decorate the jewelry counter. It's a lot of fun. I do love my job. I love my job a lot. And so I went to work that day. It was early in the morning, you know, I got my coffee, you know, got my little sweater and everything, you know, sweater weather. And I was just at the jewelry counter, you know, doing my thing, you know, pressing the jewelry. I went into the room with the safe and there was something on the counter and I was like, what is that? And it was like wrapped up in a towel and I was like, is that a grenade? And then my supervisor came in and she was like,
Whatever you do, don't touch that thing. Like, don't even get near it.
and I was like, okay. I don't know what happened. They didn't really explain it to me. We're totally not allowed to talk about that stuff in the work area, but I'm gonna talk about it on my channel because I can. I'm about to do a counter, you know, do my thing again, and I hear my manager on the phone. Man, guys, being sick, I'm just out of breath. Like, I heard her like saying like, yeah, can you come now? And so like 2 minutes later, like there's like a bomb squad pulling into the parking lot, and the part of the store I wasn't working in wasn't open yet, thankfully. And so like the bomb squad came in. They asked, you know, what is the thing? What do you think it is? What do you do with it? Where is it? You know, they're just asking all the questions. I was like, I don't know. I just opened the door for them. You know, I was just like nice to them. I was like, how's your day going? You know, and they're like,
Are you concerned at all?
I'm like, no, this happens like way more often than you think. And they're like,
Oh, okay.
and so anyway, they had us all like they escorted us out of the building, and then we all just kind of stood around like making jokes. And none of us were concerned. None of us. Like, you guys tell me like how often you guys talk to the bomb squad. Anyways, so yeah, we were all just like chilling and everything, and we were just joking around, you know, just hanging out, enjoying that we were getting paid to just stand there and talk, because who doesn't love that? And so anyway, they brought it out and they were like, okay,
You know, we like swept the area just in case, you know, everything's fine.
and then they just took it away and we went back to work. So I'm pretty sure most of my coworkers don't know about this because it was like early in the morning and they don't work that early. So it's my little secret. Anyway, so that was just like one of my first weird experiences. That was probably one of my most recent ones, actually. It's Halloween, so the dogs are gonna be barking all night, but I still need to film a video. So we have people get taken away in ambulances all the time. Like, if there's a day that the ambulance isn't in the parking lot outside where I work, then it's a weird day. It's weird not to have someone being wheeled away into an ambulance. I don't know, you guys are probably like,
Where the heck do you work at?
like, don't ask. So I work as a cashier, and I was just like, you know, stand there, you know, checking out the customers. I have really good customer service skills. At least that's what I've been told. I'm a major extrovert, and I love working with people. I love helping people, except Karens. I don't claim them. So I was just standing at the register, and my coworker was next to me, and then I had another coworker over by her. So I'm just helping the customer, and then I hear, and I like look over, and then my coworker's on her knees, and then the coworker who's next to her is just like, So my coworker's like passed out cold, and you guys know from my previous videos that was like kind of like a medical student. I was taking medical classes, and so I know more than like the average person when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I also just have, like basic knowledge, like the night before we were closing together, and she looked over at me and she's like,
wow, dude, I'm like shaking so bad. She was
like,
oh, I just eat ramen, like that's all I eat. And I was like,
girl, okay, I like to cook, and depending on like what's available, because I don't buy my own food, depending on what's available, I do like to eat healthy. Like my mom makes lean and green meals and I love to eat them. Like, I don't know, so I'm all about eating good. I mean, I still like my junk food. I still like to drink a crap ton of coffee, I'm still like that, but I also appreciate good food and eating healthy. And so anyway, I was like, girl, you need more like nutrients and stuff, like you need more protein. I was like, you can't just live off ramen. Like I get that it's good every now and then. Well, actually, I'm kind of a brat about food, so I don't even eat the cheap ramen. I buy like the ramen that's like $8 a cup. But it's like, girl, you can't just keep eating that. I was like, bring real food tomorrow. And she was like, okay, I will. And I was like, So I was like bragging to her about how I was gonna eat like homemade tacos when I got home and everything, and I did, and they were delicious, by the way. And so the next day, I was like, so what'd you bring? She's like, I brought ramen. And I was like, girl, I told you to bring something else. And she was like,
well, I just didn't feel like it. And she's like, I had to pay for my own food, so it's all I can afford. She's like, I have to buy other things, like video games and stuff.
And I was like, girl. So I was like, you're gonna like pass out or something's gonna happen. You're not getting what you need.
She's like, no, I'm fine, everything.
And then like 5 minutes before, she's like,
man, I'm shaking real bad again.
I'm like, maybe you should eat something.
She's like, it's fine. I'll just survive until my lunch break.
Then guess who passed out on the floor? Yeah, it was her. And so everyone started freaking out and everything. I'm just standing there like, really? Really? The customers are freaking out. My supervisors are freaking out. They're calling the ambulance. And I'm just sitting there like, guys, she just needs to eat. So sure enough, she woke up a couple minutes later, and I'm sitting there like, guys, put a pillow under her head, make sure she's comfy, because that's like basic medical knowledge. If someone is passed out or on the ground or having a seizure, if you can't help them, at least make them comfortable. But if she's just laying there on the floor, so I had to be the one to go get her pillow, and so I made her all comfy and everything, and I was like, girl, I told you to eat more. And she's just like, I know. So she started crying because she was embarrassed. And I was like, okay, I was like not sympathetic. Okay, I was just like annoyed. I was like, I told you to eat more. I was like, we could have prevented this. And I was telling my supervisor, I was like, look, guys, she just needs to eat and then she'll be fine. And they were like, no, we need to call the ambulance. And I was like, it was frustrating. When you know something, but nobody like listens to you. So something happens and then it could have been prevented if they just listened to you. Yeah. So anyway, the ambulance comes and everything, and like the paramedics come. They're like,
yeah, she just has like low blood sugar. She just needs to eat.
I just sat there looking at everyone like, I told you so. Like, I told you so. And so anyway, they took her away in the ambulance. She's like crying and everything, and I'm just like, girl. And so then the customer's like, what happened? And I'm like, we can't tell you. Like, chill. If you're one of those people who only eats ramen, stop. Just stop. Please. Ooh, I have a really interesting one to tell you guys. So, you know how there are those like scammers who try to pretend they got hurt because of something in the store and they try to sue you for lots of money? Well, I personally had to deal with one of them people. So, grab some popcorn because this one's juicy. So, during the whole like COVID thing or whatever, we had to have someone stand at the door and like count how many people were coming in, and we had these little like clicker things, and let me tell you, it was the most boring job ever. I'm so glad we don't have to do that anymore. Like, we still have to wear the stupid masks and everything and stay the stupid 6 feet apart, which we don't do, by the way, except when HR comes. Then we're all like, oh, 6 feet apart, 6 feet. No. I got to greet people like, welcome to, just, give them basic information about the store, things that are on sale, this and that. And it was a lot of fun. This one guy came in, and I don't live in the nicest place. So this rough looking guy comes in, and he's got a little daughter, and she's probably like 3 years old. She's a toddler, basically. And she is so dirty. Like, her hair's everywhere. She literally has dirt on her face. You know, like in movies where like the kids like come from like a poor background, they got like dirt on their face, like makeup and everything. That was literally her. And I was like, what the heck? So I didn't really like think about it too much. I was like, you know, kids are dirty. You know, they smell bad because they're kids. Anyway, and so I'm like, oh, you know, welcome, you know. He's like, oh, okay, thank you. And he's like, where's the kids section at? And I was like, oh, you know, over there and everything. He's like, oh, thanks. Also, big thing, it was raining that day. It does that a lot here. And we didn't have a wet floor sign up because we had a big old rug where you could wipe your feet. And also, like, floor wasn't wet. Anyway, so there was like one tiny little raindrop on the floor. And this man like goes to walk and he like and he like slips in the tiny raindrop and then like twists around and like lands like gently on his back, and you could tell it was fake. Like, it was ridiculous. He's like,
oh my gosh, my ankle. And he's like, oh, good thing I didn't hit my head on the shelf that's right behind me. That could have been really bad, but oh, my ankle. And
I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? You know, like, I'm just like, bruh, I've seen people like you before. I'm not stupid. So the customer's like, oh my gosh. So I'm just like, are you okay? And he had already been on crutches because he had surgery on his ankle before. And so I'm like, here, let me get your crutches. And I'm trying to help this whole grown man off the floor. Guys, I weigh 125. I don't got it in me. I'm tiny. Like, this is my arm. I just pulled a muscle trying to show you guys my hoodie. See, that's how weak I am. I pull a muscle just by going like this. Ouch. So I'm like trying to lift him up. It's not working very well. I'm just like dragging by his arm, because we have a little bench. We have like a little seating area near the entrance. So like, if you get tired of shopping, you can like sit down. I don't know. It's kind of nice. It's near like our little bookstore area. We have a lot of stuff. And so anyway, I'm like trying to drag him to this bench, and then finally some other grown guy comes and like lifts the guy up and sets him on the bench, and then I put his crutches next to him, you know. I get him a pillow, you know. And so he's like,
why don't you guys have a wet floor sign?
and I was like, because the floor isn't wet. And so he's like,
well, that's ridiculous. He's like, it's clearly wet. I just slipped. He's like, oh, my ankle, I just had surgery on it. So he like take off his boot. He's like, oh, it's so swollen.
you guys, it was like this big. It looked like an ankle that just had surgery on it. Nothing more. Not an ankle that was broken or twisted or shattered or something. It would just look like an ankle that had surgery. Like, what? And so I'm my supervisor, and she's like from New York, and she's not my supervisor anymore, but we still keep in contact because I love her. She's awesome. And so she like comes over and she just starts sassing the guy. She's like, well, clumsy people fall all the time. And he's like,
did you just call me clumsy?
She's like, yeah, like, and I don't know, she was just awesome about it. She was just like telling this guy this and that. Then other customers like, you're acting like you're on drugs. And apparently that customer was like a drug consultant or whatever. He like helped people with addictions or whatever. And so he was like, yeah, you're acting like you're on these drugs. And the guy was like,
no, I'm not.
And his daughter is like,
Dad, can we just go to the kids section? Like, we don't have time for this.
His little 3-year-old daughter, he'd probably done this a million times. His daughter's just like,
Dad, like, can we go to the kids section now?
Like, if I was a kid and that happened to my dad, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, oh my gosh. So anyway, then we have to call my manager over. And so, like, we're waiting for my supervisor to get the paperwork. We're just staying there. We're just, like, talking about getting our nails done and everything. While those guys over here on the bench, like, like, you know, just another normal day at work, you know. The ambulance is on its way, you know. So my manager and I are just looking at each other, talking about getting our nails done. You're like, where do you get your nails done, you know? And we do take these situations seriously. It's just they happen so often. We're just, like, not shook by it anymore. So anyways, so we get the paperwork, whatever. He's like,
I'm gonna sue you.
And so then I have to go to the office and, like, talk to my manager, tell what happened and everything. He's like,
and he pointed to me. She's like, she's a really good employee. And he pointed to my supervisor. He's like, she's not. He's like, I'm gonna own your job.
And I was like, dude, all I did was try to help you up. Like, I couldn't even do it. What do you mean? But anyway, it made my manager happy, so. Anyway, so as he's being wheeled away onto the ambulance, he forgot his daughter. He left her standing there. Like, what? Like, she was just standing there. He's like, oh, wait, my kid, I need my kid, as he's being wheeled out the door. I was like, your child? Hello? So, yeah, he obviously doesn't take care of her. I'm exhausted just from sitting here telling you guys these stories. I don't know if this video is gonna be long or not. I always trim out way too much of my videos. It's so hard to like get a video down to like a certain length. I don't understand how some people get their videos to like the same length each time. I'm like, how do you do it? You know? Okay, I have a couple short Karen ones because we have to have a Karen one here. It's not a retail horror store without a Karen. So I have two short Karen ones. So basically, I was just at my register. You know, it was payday. So I was in a good mood, you know. I was like, we got that money. And so one of my newer coworkers comes up to me and she's like, hey, I don't know where the paychecks are. Can you show me? And so I look around and there's not a customer in sight. It's just like a little tumbleweed just rolls by. So I'm like, you know what? Sure, I can leave for 2 seconds to show her where the paychecks are. And so we just walk into the warehouse. I'm like, here's the paychecks. I turn around and okay, I don't know what it is with customers, but they think they can do whatever they want. We have so many customers come into the back where, you know, where it says employees only, and they just start asking for stuff. Like, read the sign, dummy. Like, people are so dumb. Anyways, and so this lady comes in the back. She's like, I've been waiting at the register. Your light is on. I've been waiting at the register for like 5 minutes. And I was like, lady, and I looked at my watch. I was like, I've been gone for 1 minute. I was like, you have not. I was like, I looked at the register, and so I'm just like talking to her in front of all my coworkers. They're like, the manager's watching me. I'm like, girl, I've been gone for like a minute. I looked at the register and you weren't there. I was like, we have jobs to do. I was like, you are not the only customer in the store. I was trying to help someone else. I wasn't gonna tell her it's my coworker. She's like, well, she's like, I shouldn't have to fetch you. And I was like, you're right, you shouldn't have to, because I'm not a dog. I was like, I will help you when I have time. So anyway, I like lead up to the register. I'm just taking my time, you know, taking little baby steps. And I take pride in my work, so I walk really fast when I'm at work. Because I like to be fast. I like to be efficient, you know. I have a really good rep at work and I like to keep it. Even though I haven't been to work in like 4 days because I have the flu. And this video, just sitting here talking, is exhausting. Like, I'm out of breath. Man, I'm sweating. Anyways, so I'm like taking my time, taking little baby steps, leading her to the register, you know. Like, not only did I make her even more mad because she was already being rude and like treating me like I was below her, but I still got her to pay extra. Like, so I was at the register and I'm helping a customer, and there's a huge line, there's someone waiting at the fitting rooms, and we have like a little alarm thing that tells us that someone's waiting at the fitting rooms. And so like this lady comes around the corner and she's like, hey, like, I need a fitting room. And I was like, okay, I'll get you soon. I'm at the register, and we've been told the registers are priority. Like, no matter what we're doing, if someone's at the register, we got to go up to our assigned register and help them out. And so, you know, I'm trying to get the line down, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I really do the most out of everyone who's at my level in the job. Like, obviously my supervisors, like, are all awesome, most of them. But like, I bust my butt, dude. I'm about through 2 customers, because I can get through about 1 customer in about 1 or 2 minutes. It doesn't take me really long. I'm pretty quick at it. And so the customer who wants a fitting room comes back. She's like, just, you know, don't forget I need a fitting room. And I'm like, okay, I'll get to you. And so, you know, I'm helping another customer, and she comes back, dude, and she's waving her clothes around. She's like, I need a fitting room. She's like, this is ridiculous. Oh, wait, I have 3 Karen stories. Never mind, there's another one after this. I just remembered. She's like, this is ridiculous. You said you'd help me after that customer. And I was like, no, I didn't. I said I'd help you when I can. And she's like, well, I need a fitting room. And I was like, well, I need to help my customers. And she's like, well, don't talk to me like that. And I was like, well, don't talk to me like that. Like, you're gonna have to wait. You're not the only. I have to say this to so many customers. They think they're the one and only person in the whole world. Like, when they want something, we all just have to come to them and just give it to them. Like, I'm about to knock you off your high horse. Like, you know? I just gave her a little bit piece of my mind, and that shut her up. So she kept waiting. So I finished the line, and then I get her a fitting room, and, you know, I take my time, you know, I'm just like, like, you already waited this long, you can wait a little bit longer, you know, just to make her mad. Anyway, so I get her a fitting room and everything, and then I also get her at the register, and I also get her to pay extra, because I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know, I'm just good, okay, what can I say? So, anyway, that was another Karen story, and one thing I've noticed is, like, they're so entitled. Like, the entitlement is real. Like, gotta get a thumbnail. So my 3rd Karen story is And this lady shops here all the time. It's like she has nothing better to do. So she comes down to my register, right? And we have different discounts for different things. Like, if you're old, you get a discount. If you're a veteran, you get a discount. This and that. You know, all sorts of different discounts and sales. You know, we like to help people save money. And so I finish her whole transaction, print out the receipt, like it's done and good. And she's like, oh, I want my discount, by the way. And I was like, because most stores aren't allowed to just give you a discount because there's like a policy against it or something in a lot of retail stores, because people get like offended, like, are you assuming I'm old or something? And so I was like, oh, well, you have to let us know before the transaction is sent. I'm holding a receipt, like, the transaction's over, lady, get out. Like, I have other customers, you know, move along. And so she's like, well, that's unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I'm clearly old. Do it all over again. And so I'm looking at the line. I'm looking at her. I'm like, no. And she's like, get a supervisor right now. And oh my gosh, now that I'm talking about Karens, I have so many other Karen stories popping up in my head. Like, oh my gosh. This is why I would never want to be a supervisor, dude. So I call my supervisor, and it's my New York supervisor. And so she comes up, she's like, oh, it's you again. Because apparently this lady causes a lot of trouble. And the lady's like, she didn't get my discount on there. And she's like, well, I guess we'll just refund you then. So she figures out the amount of what the refund would be and then just gives it to her in cash. And then the little old lady has like a little, what's the reindeer from Frozen? Sven? Yeah, Sven. She has like a Sven plastic toy. Like, it's like one little kids can ride on or whatever. And my supervisor's like, oh, that's a cute little toy. And the old lady's like, oh, thanks. It's for my grandbaby that's on the way in like a couple months. And my supervisor's like, oh, nice. And then she leaves. And then the lady's like, oh, can you help me carry it out to my car? So my supervisor's like, sure, because, you know, we have to. And so apparently she told me that when she got to the car, she's putting it in the back, and there's a big old dog in the back. And the old lady's like, look at this toy I got you. It's Sven. You can chew on him and beat him up. The supervisor's like, I thought you said this was for your grandbaby. And the old lady's like, this is my grandbaby. And she points to the dog. My supervisor's like, I don't know, man. It was weird. Anyway, every time I see her, I'm like, oh my gosh. I just want to like throw like a pillow at her. So I'm helping this old customer, right? There's like 3 old ladies in the line. I don't know why. It was like old lady day or something. So I just finished helping an old lady. And apparently she misread one of the coupon things, one of the discount things. And she thought it was something else. So she bought a pair of jeans. And she bought 2 pairs of jeans. And she thought it was like buy one, get one half off or something. But it wasn't. And so she was like, oh, wait. And so there was another old lady in line about to come into my register, and she stopped. And the old lady was like, I thought these were, I need to do a refund. And we have signs everywhere. We even put it on your receipt. No returns. None. And we say it's because of COVID, but it's really because it's a pain in the butt, and we don't like doing returns because, like, it's a pain in the butt. And I don't make the rules, so don't come at me, okay? I like being able to return things. But anyway, it's blatantly obvious. Dude, I swear, so many people around here have the IQ of, like, a rock. Once you leave the store, like, once you step foot out of that door, there's nothing we can do about it. So she went out of the building and came back in. And, you know, the old lady in line who was behind her was just moving real slow. And so she's like, I need to return these. I was like, oh, you know, there's no returns. We have a sign right here, and it's on your receipt, and there's a sign right over there and right there, and along every single register. And the lady's like, well, I just bought these. And then the lady in line is like, yeah, she just bought those. You need to let her return them. I was like, well, it's a rule, and I am, like, at the very bottom of the pyramid. Like, you think I have, like, the authority to just, like, break the rules, you know? Oh, well, since you asked nicely, not even nicely, since you demanded, sure, let me just go ahead and break the rules for you. And the 2 old ladies just started attacking me. They're like, you know, well, I just bought these. And then the old lady's like, yeah, she just bought them. You need to let her return them. So they're just standing there attacking me. So I just, like, kind of back up. I'm like, I need a supervisor. I have 2 old ladies, like, attacking me over a pair of jeans. I was like, what is happening? And so right as the supervisor makes her way all the way from the office to where I'm at, then the customer's like, never mind, I'll just take the jeans, and then just leaves as my supervisor's walking up. And even then, it wasn't my supervisor, my whole manager came, stopped what she was doing, and then the old lady's eyes like, you guys are rude. And then she just, like, starts buying stuff, and I looked at my manager. I was like, she left, like, throwed a hissy fit for nothing. So wasting time. The last one's really short. But basically, I was working my early shift again at the jewelry counter, and the phone started ringing, and so I picked it up, and I was like, hello, thank you for calling. My name is Olivia. How can I help you today? And the customer was like, are you guys doing returns? And I was like, no, unfortunately, due to COVID, we're not doing returns at the moment. And so the lady's like, you guys are full of crap, and then just hangs up. And she didn't say crap either. She said a no word, and I was like, okay. So I just hung up and just went back to what I was doing, and I was like, thanks for starting my day off like that. Like, I just woke up like an hour ago. Thank you, I guess. Like, I don't know. Yeah. People seem to think that I make the rules, I guess. I don't know. I wish I did. I'd ban each and every one of you. Anyways, I'm exhausted from sitting here filming this video. I really don't feel well, and I have to edit it. I'm sorry if it's Monday and the video isn't up. Even if I have to upload it late on Monday or on Tuesday, then I just have to, I don't want to push myself too hard. Also, last week's video, I can explain why it was up so late. I was processing it in YouTube Studio right before work, and my laptop screen just like turns off when it's been absent for a while. Video wasn't up early Monday because my laptop screen shut off while I was getting ready for work. So in my brain, I was like, oh, I already uploaded the video, so that's why my computer turned off. So I left for work, and I was gone for, like 9 hours. And so I come back, and I was like, the video. And so I like turned on my laptop really quick and then uploaded it. So it was up at like 11 o'clock EST, and I was like, I'm sorry, and I couldn't explain it because I already uploaded the video. So that's why. Well, should I make YouTube shorts of my retail experiences? I say it again, thank you for 200. It still feels like just yesterday we hit 100. I still can't believe we're at 200, and I know to so many people it's such a small number, but I remember when I got my first subscriber that wasn't a close friend or family, and how excited I was, getting 19 subscribers, and then 20, and then 21. Like, now I'll go from like 200 to like 215. I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? And thank you guys for watching my videos. Like, it really means a lot. All I do is sit here in front of my phone and just talk, and you guys enjoy it for some reason. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to boop that subscribe button in the nose, leave a like, and share the video so other people can just like laugh at how crazy my work life is. Anyway, bye. Had to bump the mic. I gotta do every video.